simply respecting the hard engage from Hylissang as well. I mean, we have a support pulling 2 bans and potentially a first pick every single time. The rest of your team should be able to benefit from it. Oh, Hecarim is open. That's a mistake.
That's simple. Banning Rek'Sai against Reignover. We know it is his most played champion, but Reignover has played a number of jungle champions to fantastic success. The pony is locked in against the Unicorns.
Yeah, well, if you look at Reignover's champion pool, I guess what Unicorns are trying to do is move him away from early aggressive junglers, because Lee Sin and Nidalee has not been the most picked champions for him. He liked the tanks here in the Cinderhulk meta. He's even played the likes of Olaf before Cinderhulk came out. So he has shown, at least in the past, that if Rek'Sai is gone, it's more about the slow scaling junglers, and in this case, Fragger's just instantly being locked in. Unicorns put more value on getting the bottom lane and trading that for the Hecarim. We have to see if they can use the more passive approach from Reignover, despite him still being very aggressive in terms of ganks. He's not on the same kind of champion in the early game.
And we'll have to see whether or not Unicorns can adjust their vision patterns to maybe play to that effect.
Oh, please lock it in.
Now, if any team is going to deal with Hecarim in a fancy, flashy way, it is the Unicorns of Lab. Febiven has played Xerath 3 times, won all 3 games.
Yeah, he's not going to play it, but his Xerath is just so insane that I love watching him play. They don't have to pick the mid laner here for Fnatic. You can go with the AD carry. If you want the Kalista matchup into Sivir, you can take that one again for yourself. Otherwise, Lucian has been a good pick for Steelback, where they run these compositions where they kind of protect him as a hyper carry, and they allow him late game at least to have a massive impact. They tend to run the likes of Janna and Nunu with it, so if Nautilus being locked in, it would be a different style.
The other thing,
but Lucian is still a good pick for them.
The other thing to note, hover picks are not something we tend to like to talk about as casters because they change so often. But one thing you cannot deny, Febiven flashing the Xerath with a jungler that is relatively slow. You get wave clip from flashing the Anivia for the control for the late game. Does it plant seeds of doubt in the Unicorns' minds? That is something we need to see how it plays out. I think there's a lot of untouched nuances to the pick and ban phase that can actually affect players' mindsets. You see a Zillion, you don't think it's a lock-in. You see a Febiven Xerath, you go, you know what, that's not too crazy.
I can almost guarantee the teams don't really care, because they already have the sights on their own picks, and they wait to see what's being locked in on the other side. But yeah, I mean, you got a point with them sitting and discussing it. Question is, will Unicorns go back to slow scaling, long-range AP, or long-range... Well, Udi has been locked in.
We love kickers. Mr. Cameraman, wherever you are, you deserve a cookie for finding that guy and also flashing at the moment the Man-Bear Pig is locked in. Udyr, Irelia, Sivir. If Unicorns were ever going to overwhelm you, this was the team comp to do it with.
So this is kind of different for Unicorns of Love. Normally when they play Udyr, it's in these kite compositions with their long-range poke mid laner and a big tanky top laner who kites with them. Crowd really wants Teemo.
I can't hear you over Teemo. But I'm afraid it's not going to happen.
But now Irelia's been locked in, so with this, it's more dive onto Fnatic, and that's where Udyr is not always the strongest, because he gets kited around fairly easily. When he's against Nautilus, he's against the Gragas. Lucian has their mobility as well to dance around the Udyr, and suddenly he's not going to offer a whole lot if you want to dive the backline. He's a lot better in kite comms. So that's a little bit weird from them. Oh, that was getting close, but they got the Lucian in the very end. And Fnatic has a bit of everything here, honestly. There's good wave clear. You have the all-in potential. You have the engage from Hecarim, from Nautilus to get onto these immobile picks that Power Weaver has liked to play. And you got good damage all around, from early game to late game, honestly, with Lucian, Ahri, and Hecarim.
So a lot of options on the Fnatic squad.
Just a good, well-rounded comp.
They can do little bits of everything. For Unicorns at the moment, it is really about throwing themselves at your opponents. The only player in Europe to play Syndra all year long for the 7th time will be running Syndra in the middle lane. Nobody else is playing this champion but Power of Evil, and it is, screw it, it's his champion.
It is his champion here in Europe, at least. When the nerfs came in, with their Q damage went down, their E got nerfed as well, was a lot thinner suddenly. A lot of the pro players were tweeting, Syndra, she's horrible now, she's not going to be played anymore, we're never going to pick her. The next day, Power of Evil said, well, here's Syndra, I'm going to lock it in and win the game. So, for him, He still thinks it's a fantastic champion. And this is going to fit better with what Unicorns are built now, in terms of we need to dive onto Fnatic in our, with our comp here. We have the Sivir ulti, we have the Aurelia, and now the one-shot potential from Syndra. I still do think this Udyr is kind of misplaced in that kind of composition, because he's so much better when it comes to you kiting and you drawing out fights. This is not what Unicorns want to do. They want to have quick fights where they burst down a target within a few seconds of the true damage from Aurelia, ulti from Sivir, and of course the Syndra ulti.
Well, we'll find out if they can make that happen. As we touched on, Hylissang on that Thresh. 1-7 as far as his record is concerned. Power of Evil 3-3 on that Syndra. He does not miss stuns often.
No.
And if Steelback is out of position, it could really hurt. There's those team comps. One more time, the pick and ban strategy has altered with Rek'Sai banned away. Huni plays Hecarim for the third time. Will it be a win in Game 3 of this best of 5? Fnatic on the blue side going to get themselves off to exciting starts.
And I want to see what Power Weevil's skills at level 1, because he's one of the players who adapted to the nerfs to the Q, and he decided to skill W first, because that's 80 base damage, where the Q is 55 at level 1. So he skills W level 1 to surprise the enemy and win the first few trades, and then he maxes Q right after, so that's still going to be maxed first, obviously for the passive as well. I want to see if he's doing the same and if he gets a good trade on Febiven, because that's one of the ways he tends to get an early lead in his lanes when he plays Syndra. Kikis is going to have to be very active on the map. He has fantastic clear on an Udyr. He has fantastic mobility when it comes to moving around the map, but his ganks can be somewhat lackluster. They often
disagree.
Often
Flash
rely.
bear slap.
I was about to say, often rely on a flash to make it work. So he flash in, bear slaps them, and also when he plays Udyr, he does red buff and he does level 2 gank. 3 out of 3 times in playoffs. Let's see if Huni with no flash is smart enough to have down an early ward. Notice how he didn't place a ward at level 1, so that's still ready for him. And once he returns to lane, if Kikis is coming for that level 2 gank.
Flash bear slap. Do you believe in 4 out of 4? We'll have to find out, as definitely not Udyr. He's going to start on his traditional red buff. I want to quickly quote that video we saw just before Pekka was interviewed. Vardag's touching on how good Unicorns are in best of 5s and how they can adapt. They have adapted, and we'll see whether or not their decision-making and strategy pays off. Deficio, we've been hovering Power Beaver for a little while. He skilled the Q. Yeah, I guess his first play.
I guess he only does the W against Cassidy in our melee matchups, then decides to get Q at level 1 for the trades. I just wanted to see, you know, I'm not much of a Syndra player myself, but it's one of the small things you notice with Power Weevil when you try and see what he normally does. Kikis, are you gonna go to that top lane once the 2 guys TP up there and kill the no flash Hecarim? He's running in chicken form. There's no ward yet. Will he sit and wait in the bush before the ward even gets placed from Kikis? The TP has to come in from Chachi.
Oh,
you have to place the ward instantly, Huni.
Chicken form, bear form. No flash this time because there's not enough support.
Huni has done his homework.
Huni has
Thank you.
Wow, no flash bear slap yet. Nick is still looking for it. Level 2 gank did not work out. Libram Strike did not really do a whole lot there from Vizichachi. We do see those early level 2s, and Kick is unable to make it 4 for 4. Man, bear, pig, turtle, phoenix, tiger thing goes back into the jungle to continue farming up.
Yeah, and with Fnatic, or with Reyno starting on his own red buff, he couldn't really take too much advantage of Kikis here, because he just showed himself quickly. Invading into blue a little bit late could have been very risky for him. Instead, he's going to go for a gank on this Aurelia.
Well, let's see. Not a lot of mana on Chachi. He's going to flash away Huni and Reyno, but going to get some damage down, and that might dissuade Vizichachi from playing aggressively. Oi! That's definitely not a good ward. I think he knows everyone saw that one. But to get back to the point, without a flash on Vizichachi, maybe that's going to buy some safety and some time for Huni in that top lane. He does have Ignite, so if Vizichachi continues to stick around at low HP, maybe Huni can look to set up a surprise kill. Look, Reyno is coming in from the tri-bush. He's going to get
spotted the ward. The value.
What a difference it's going to make. Remember, there's no flash in Vizichachi. Reyno is going to land the body slam. Red buff's ticking away, and he's going to get first blood.
Such a good start from Fnatic. Everything from the early ward from Huni to spot the Udyr, and then just saying we're against an Aurelia. She's one of the lane bullies that if you shut her down and delay her Trinity Force, she falls really, really far behind. So I really like the early ganks here from Fnatic. And if you get a lead on Hecarim in this matchup, you can be so annoying with your passive because you obviously ignore the minion, so you can stand on a minion. The way normally for Aurelia to probably trade is like you jump in on a minion, kill it, then you E, and then you have your Q ready if someone tries to run away. You can't do that against Hecarim because he's sitting on that minion you want to jump to. So if you get a lead as Hecarim in that matchup, you can just be so annoying and also just deny her farm.
Somebody else that's annoying is Kikis. Not able to get the same early advantage he has in previous games, but 3-1.
Still pretty good KDA.
Pretty good KDA. And it's traditionally been picked into very good team comps. This is the first time, Fisher, I've heard you say you're not entirely convinced. All 3 previous games, it actually made quite a lot of sense.
Yes, again, because there was poke compositions that wanted to kite, where a low cooldown on your stun as an Udyr, the fact you get your turtle shield, so you're so tanky that these double tank comps can't really kill you, or the low damage comps when he's against the likes of Urgot, we can say. Here, it's just very different. There's a lot of burst from Fnatic to take him down, and he's not here to peel anymore. He's here to dive in with the rest of the team, and I just want to see what he can do in fights, because he has the tendency to just get kited around. Like one slow on him from a Nautilus, and you need that flash.
Vardags will be trying to help out that weakness. On the hunt, of course, the big tool. We've not actually taken a look at many of the other lanes thanks to all the focus top. Mid lane going even on farm. Febiven with a defensive start, opting into the Negatron cloak first. Typical as we start.
Oh, he got it. There we go, boys. And now he's going to get a gank off. But Reynova is here. Ready for the counter gank.
Counter gank is available. Remember, Huni does have Ignite. Chilling Smite goes down. He knocked Kickers back. Kickers actually flashes defensively. No flash base slap this time around. Turns into Phoenix Dance and he's going to get forced away. Reynova reading Kickers' Udyr like a book. Huni's just hit level 6. There's an onslaught of shadows. They're going to go in. And that's going to be a 2-man onslaught. That's another kill for Huni. He's going to get himself a double kill. And Holo has landed. Remember, it wasn't banned out. Steelback gets caught by Hillisang's death sentence. Hillisang catches everyone with death sentences. Exhaust has been survived through Yellowstar, trying to get damage down, but they're forced to retreat. Vardags, so much healthier. And Unicorns of Love win the 2v2 in the bottom lane. But they're not winning enough.
No.
Because Huni is 2-0-1.
Yeah, that's the big deal here. Both lanes for Fnatic on the bottom side of the map, mid and bot lane, is sitting back farming, honestly, playing it fairly safe, knowing that Reynova was putting all his focus on that top lane. Because the thing is, best case for Reynova and Huni, they dive the Aurelia, kill her again. Worst case, you find the Udyr there and you get a 2v2 lane that you're going to win anyway. So there's really no bad scenario for you. As long as you keep providing assistance for Huni on that Hecarim. Such a strong start, rushing that Frozen Heart. So there's going to be no kill pressure for this Aurelia in the one-on-one lane. And this is backfired completely from the Unicorns of Love. They banned Rek'Sai, allowing Huni to just instant lock Hecarim as the first pick.
Huni has consistently shown how scary he is on carry-type top laners. And he shocked the European LCS with his Hecarim performances. There's a Chachi, 0-2 down behind NCS. He's opted to go double Dorans. Not only is he under so much pressure, that Trinity Force spike is going to be a long way away. Let's see what Huni can do. Standing on top of those minions, exactly like you talked about in the Fisher. And Huni is just rampaging his way across. There's almost an onslaught of shadows. Ignite burning through. Huni's looking for more. And he just 1v1s Vizichachi. The crowd is trying. Oh. It's getting there.
There's a reason this champion has been banned in every single game in the playoffs against Fnatic.
Until now.
I mean, what is Unicorns of Love going to do? Okay, if your top lane is losing this hard, you just got to surrender that lane. You can't keep trying to gank for it because you're not going to win the fights. I mean, Huni at this point might even be able to 1v2 if he has his summoners ready. Wow. So you got to try.
8-minute Frozen Heart.
That's the thing. Now you got to try making plays on either mid or the bottom lane. But you had no flash on that Udyr. We said how his ganks are not very good unless you have that flash ready. So you can't really get in anywhere. There's a million wards on the bottom side. They expect him to show up at some point. They're even sending Vizichachi down here now.
Huni's got teleport available and call it 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 wards.
They're just going to dive Chachi here as well. They can see everything on the map. If they go in and poke him, have Rainover wait for the minions to hit the tower, Chachi is dead again.
Look in the mid lane though, maybe Febiven will get caught out. Death Sentence does not manage to connect, and Febiven, unsure of Power of Evil's position. Remember, there was no minions middle lane. Very, very defensive. Rainover is going to knock Chachi backwards. The depth charge is going to go out. You cannot flash away from that. The culling landing shot off the shot, and the dredge line will be able to allow Fnatic to get their 5th kill of the game. Chachi's Irelia is going to do nothing this game. Udia and Thresh trying to get blue buff. Hooney's trying to get in range. The Smite does manage to secure the buff, but at what cost? They've lost their top laner. This is Unicorns of Love, and they're going to lose their bottom tower.
I do think it was a fine play. Oh, let's see what happens here.
He's going to just onslaught shadows over the wall. Vortex tried to interrupt.
The plan from Unicorns of Love was okay here, saying we're not going to get anything in our lane, so we have to swap it around, try and fast push a tower to get some kind of gold. That was fine. Problem was Chachi. As soon as he shows himself in the lane, Fnatic was already ready to kill him once again. Not that he's worth a whole lot of gold, but if they can at least trade towers, Unicorns get something.
Well, something is better than nothing. As Vortex is trying to deny as many minions as possible, does secure a tower trade. Still 2,000 gold down at the 10-minute mark. A dragon down. And we'll need to see how on earth the mythical unicorns control the power pony. Because between the two of us, I don't think we can think of many options.
No, Hooney is just... There's nobody who can one-on-one him at any point of the game. In this, with the way he's playing and with these early kills for him. Irelia.
So, 3-on-1 him.
Let's see if they can do it.
Bear Slap comes down. Onslaught of Shadows is not available, nor is there a flash. Here comes the rest. That's a flash Death Sentence. Hylissang connects, plays him backwards. You don't need to one-on-one when you can 3v1. And Hooney gets taken out. They're not done yet. There's the flash Bear Slap. Phoenix starts. The Dark Sphere stun does not connect. Power of Evil is going to unleash his power. Not even needed to. As it's Kikis that gets a 2nd kill of the game. Power of Evil realizing they had the damage, and he held onto his ulti in case anything further goes forward. Fnatic just a little out of position.
Yeah, very, very good response from Unicorns of Love. They're reading a situation, saying you're not going to get anything in the mid or bottom lane, so we can go up with 3 guys. We can gank your Hecarim, and now he wants some revenge.
Well, let's see what he can do. Onslaught is going to throw Hylissang over. That's going to be a dead Thresh. Kill goes to Steelback. Use the TP and the ulti for that. It's going to relieve some pressure in the mid lane. Well, it does mean now teleport advantage to the very underfarmed Chachi. I doubt they can make a big difference with it, but keep in mind it is available. We'll see how that works out.
It can be one of the ways to get at least a few kills on him if they get a good fight.
Scatter the weak, and there's the unleashed power. Summon a heal, used, culling going down. Look at the backup from Febiven. He's coming from behind. Power of Evil should go down to the Ignite in a moment or two as Vardax eats himself a barrel roll. There's the challenging spike. Here comes Chachi. Didn't need to use the TP. He's in a 3v1, and it's Febiven with the flanking maneuver. Fnatic get 2 more kills and a tower shortly.
Just a nice little roam from the bottom lane from Febiven had already pushed it up. Chachi is level 7, the same as Yellowstar. Can he get a kill?
Well, we'll find out. On the hunt is down, and Rainover seems
They got to give it to him. They have to give it to Chachi here.
It's actually a Phoenix stance, I believe, that ticked that one over. Or it could have even been Cinderhulk, I guess. Unicorns of Love. That's a good charm from Febiven, but he doesn't have a lot of mana or any ulti to play with. Unicorns now, they're playing scrappy. Remember, these teams, when they get scrappy, they do this all game long. All of a sudden, Kikis, he's got no flash. He bare stuns the pony, who he's trying to run him down. Onslaught of Shadows not available, but he's going to just prance his way over. Kikis gets another stun. Turtle shields up, continues to run away. Can he make it to the saving hand of Power of Evil? Scatter the weak, saves Kikis. Kikis manages to make his way out. 8-3, but still 3,000 gold down.
Yeah, and Fnatic, despite losing a few kills here and there, they're still looking to push their advantage. Hylissang is all alone now. TP coming in from Chachi. I guess it came in somewhat handy for himself. And Unicorns of Love trying their best to at least get some gold in this game here. Try and punish Fnatic if they do overextend. The risk is always when you have these 1-3-1, all the lanes pushing. If one guy's overextended, you can go ganking with 2 or 3 guys and not lose anything elsewhere. So that was a good call earlier. Fnatic is looking to not do that again and just use your Hecarim that is so far ahead. only person who can kill him is really Power of Evil here. Unless it's 3 guys on him. Power of Evil doesn't want to one-on-one him. It's more, I guess, if there is a team fight with the Frozen Heart Rush, Loot and Zeko, which is, again, and I think Power of Evil, he loves to do on these AP
it's
mages.
his favorite item.
He rushes Loot and Zeko to be as strong as possible on 1 or 2 items and try and snowball his own lead from there, and therefore get towards his death cap and so on a lot faster than he normally would by just getting some kills. But he has to get the kills to make it pay off.
Tower should go to Fnatic here as there's no teleport available from Unicorns of Lab or support. Will they be trading it down the bottom lane rather? That's a great stun from Scat of the Week. Power of Evil unleashes his power, and Blizzasc2 tries to follow through. No Ignite available, and we do see Febiven able to Spirit Rush his way away. Blizzasc2 and Power of Evil now left alone in this bottom lane. They are going to get caught up by the depth charge. Blizzasc2 only got a Sheen to play with. Dredgeline connects to Power of Evil. He manages to stun up Huni, but that's not going to be enough. Kill credit is secured by Yellow Star.
But look at the mid lane now.
Lantern is going to get traded. Unicorns are fighting back.
They are. They keep trying to find some way of getting gold. Fnatic used all 5 guys on the bottom lane to get 1 kill. And they're going to lose 1 tower, and this one is just going to drop very, very low. Now Reignover's here.
Oh, Kikis might even take this
try and sacrifice himself.
to do it for the global gold. I think that's a smart move. 2 towers. Oh, here comes Huni. He's on the back line. Exhaust is out from Hilisak. Bardex low on mana. On the HUD was used. He's trying to get away. Culling on the sideway fadeaway shots. Bardex spell shields up one of those rampages, but it just keeps going. Huni's got mana and attacks for days. Death Sentence does pull Huni into the tower, but you do not want that. Unicorns are clawing this game back. I thought they were on pace to have their biggest goal deficit at 20 minutes, but this is just not the case, thanks to the fact that they are ahead in towers.
Yeah, they should never even be close when your top lane is 0-4 after like, what, 8 minutes in the game. Huni was so far ahead, but Fnatic is simply just honestly been a bit greedy and punished. So Unicorns keeping it very, very cool. They still have a good comp. When it comes to the mid game, if they can get that Trinity Force completed for Chachi, all the global gold is going to help him a lot. Still far behind Huni, about 1,500 gold in total. But as we said before, it's something. And the Unicorns.
It's unbelievable to think they found 4 towers against Fnatic. You were touching on the wave clear that they had and the lanes that they could offer, and all of a sudden, Fnatic, they lose focus of that slow, controlled game from number 2 in the series. Seem to be focusing on trying to shut down Unicorns individually, losing sight of the bigger picture. So, we're approaching 17 minutes, 10 kills to 3, down on towers. That gold is now only 1,500 difference. I mean, it was, what, 4K at the 10-minute mark. We still have to see how this Udyr is going to impact the game, officially.
Yeah, we need to see in the team fights what he can do. That's going to be the big one for Kikis. We might have to wait a little bit because Fnatic has gone back to the 1-3-1 that has, or that was going to be the game plan before they started roaming around.
Here comes Yellow Star.
Yeah, Chachi is still level 9, so
I think he's going to go down here. Spirit Rush goes up, Charm connects, Riptide goes up. Febiven should be able to get that one. He does. Yellow Star's even able to secure the kill, and the poor fellow with a broken leg there. Mumu cosplay is almost here. Oh, shame. I broke my wrist last year. I can feel your pain. Well, I guess I didn't have to use crutches. Yours is worse. Fnatic now in the top lane. They've got vision in the top half of the map. Teleport is available for Huni. He's in base. Got those home guards charged up. And they might be diving Kikis. Look at the TP coming in.
Kikis on his own, yeah.
Here comes Huni. He's going to jump into Kikis. Teleport from Blizzasc2. It might be too late. Huni continues to spin that Guitar Hero axe around. It's caught by the Equilibrium Strike and holds onto his Onslaught to Shadows for the team fight. That's a flash Death Sentence. Connects onto Yellow Star. Follow through. Does get interrupted by the barrel roll. The support of Fnatic is down, but there's the Onslaught of Shadows. Huni is just tearing Unicorns apart, trying to run forward. Now steal back. Can he play Janitor and clean house? That's the question. Blizzasc2 now from the backline. Unicorns are scattered and low, and it looks like Fnatic should be able to clean up. Body slam goes out. It's
still alive.
He gets it. He gets the kill. The Unicorns of Love win the team fight 2v4, and Power of Evil stuns up Febiven. Can he do more? He's got no mana. There's not much support. The Unicorns of Love turn the team fight around.
It's insane.
We better get a replay of that one.
I don't even know what's going on, how Unicorns can still be in this game. They just keep finding the right place. Fnatic, they were the ones diving on Kikis. Didn't kill him. Rest of Unicorns showed up. They were still fighting on the tower. Let's see the replay. So we missed the first start, but still, Kikis is just running around tanking off damage. At this point here, blizzasc was left untouched until now, and he's just leaning up suddenly. And then turtle shield, there's no damage from the Gragas. And in the end, double kill. That was 4 kills for the Unicorns of Love. Still only 400 gold behind.
Deficio, I've seen this before. In the quarterfinals, Gambit got themselves to a 10, 12, 13-minute lead, made some tower dives that Unicorn said, yes, please, give me them dives, give me them kills. And Unicorns grabbed control of the game. Fnatic have just done something so similar.
Yeah.
Evened up the gold, and they are gifting Unicorns pressure and presence in this game.
And the crazy thing is, if you saw what happened before the dive, it was FNC showing up 2 levels above blizzasc2, jumped onto him and killed him. So basically, you don't even have to team fight if you're Fnatic. You can just split push, because Chachi can't even duel Yellow Star. That's a lie, he can. It was a joke, but you can also just see Power Evil die.
Power of Evil gets jumped on. Fnatic now get themselves a relatively easy kill. Death Charge goes up, they catch Hillisang. Culling is going to cull him down, but it's Huni that gets the last hit. Medusa Kick is now trying to defend the tower. That's not going to be enough. Fnatic, with a decisive engage this time, will get themselves 2 kills in that tower. Medusa Kick is caught out. He will be dropping as well. Unicorns of Love are the ones making the mistakes. Yellowstar pulls himself halfway towards Vardags. And all of a sudden, Fnatic say, we want this game, and they get that 3,000 gold lead back.
Yeah, finally it was Fnatic catching out the Unicorns here. Also fighting outside of a tower was the big deal, but the point before was simply that Fnatic had so many ways they could play. You could 1-3-1 it and just keep being a bully against Chachi because he couldn't duel anyone, and you would just always push down that lane, always have the pressure to push up all the lanes at once, where they knew one of them couldn't be defended by the Aurelia. They decided to go for all the fights instead, which, as you said, Unicorns were obviously very happy about because it was on the towers very early on. That being said, you still have 4 kills on Huni. You just got a Trinity Force on blizzasc2. So it's definitely still in favor of Fnatic, and we saw that last fight, what they can do once they're the ones catching out the Unicorns.
Big items picked up elsewhere. Frozen Heart for Kickers, Righteous Glory for Rainover, more engaged power. Actually, Righteous Glory on Yellow Star as well. All that global gold and kills. Meaning there are so many tools. Huni unable to use that devastating charge to interrupt blizzasc2.
Righteous Glory is such a good item. After the buff as well, it's made even better, and that was one of the reasons Nautilus as a support became so strong, because you go for that item. 650 HP, and also the speed up. Let's see here. Chachi is spotted by Huni. Can get a lantern if he wants it.
Tried jump on that one. Dragon secured. Kickers tried to get in. Does not steal it. Gets pulled back by the dredge line. He will go down. Tried to outsmite Fnatic, and it did not work out. At 22 minutes, 3 dragons secured. Despite the swings back and forth, Fnatic are on course for a 5-dragon game.
Again,
unless Unicorns can turn this one around.
Yeah, not exactly the same kind of late game power for them away.
Teleport's just become available for Huni, and he recalled Deficio. I think we're about to see him jump into a fight. Let's see. There is a teleport coming out. He's coming down mid. Unicorns are split up. Vardags, the rest of Unicorns down. Devastating charge. He's running. He jumps in. He does get played backwards. We do see the dive forward. The onslaught of shadows. That's the first kill. That's the second kill. Power of Evil is in full retreat. He may need to flash the wall. Unicorns of Love had no business being there without their jungler, arguably main tank. They get punished for it, lose 2. Fnatic turn their attention to the Baron.
Unicorns can't really leave their own towers. Every time it's gone bad for Fnatic, it's been around the towers of Unicorns where they've managed to punish them. Now they move out. Gonna see if they can stop this one. Harvey is dead. Chachi's gonna die.
Wow, that's going to be an easy one. Febiven is going to get shot down and reply as blizzasc2 gets the kill credit. Baron is going low, less than half. Kikis and blizzasc2 trying to do what they can. There's a few low health bars as Kikis has got a lot. They immediately peel. That's a dead blizzasc2. There's a lot of critical hits coming down into Kikis as they try to focus him out. Huni gets a summon a heal from Steelback. That'll keep him alive just a few seconds longer. Fnatic have what is effectively a delayed ace. Cheers from Yellowstar's family. Baron not secure.
Oh!
Well,
he's on his own, okay.
That's not worth a whole lot, I'm afraid. Unicorns of Love, 5,000 gold down. They're 14 kills down. But they're not giving up without a fight.
No, that's very true. And they know they do still have some one-shot potential with the Syndra. The problem is, whenever they're fighting away from their own base, Fnatic has all the map control in terms of warding and can get these TPs from Huni, can get the right engages, and then they are still that much stronger to just power through the Unicorns of Love. There's nothing really to protect Power of Evil here. Thresh is not going to do a whole lot against the Hecarim flying in and a Nautilus ulti. And he has no defensive items. That's going to be quite delayed.
Oh! You had to say it. You had to say it. Can't do anything, but he can steal blue buff.
It's the small things that count.
You can't predict that. You can't predict that.
No.
Fnatic still maintain control. They are 1-1 in the series. The victory here will put them one game away from Florida, from Tallahassee, from lifting that trophy and making the 4th LCS split victory for Fnatic out of 5. What a mind-boggling accomplishment for the organization and for the teams over the last 2.5 years.
No matter what happens today, though, then the Unicorns of Love can be very proud of what they've done in the first split in the LCS. This game, while it doesn't look good for them, they can still try and create some picks. That's what they're going for here on Reignover.
Here comes Huni. He does get stunned up. The Death Sentence, I believe it did connect. Unleashed Power still being held on there by Power of Evil. Fnatic are now split up. Febiven's looking for a target. He's managed to catch Bardax, and Reignover has managed to catch Power of Evil. Power of Evil does take down Huni after all the damage earlier on. Stunned faces from the audience as the fight continues to break out. 2 for 3 with the tanks of Fnatic are tearing through the Unicorns of Love. blizzasc2 is in full retreat in Kikis. I don't care how big your Bear Stance Turtle Shield is. It's not going to be enough. Dredge line backwards. This should be more kills. That's a stop from Equilibrium Strike. He does manage to survive. Now Chachi's the one that's in trouble. He's going to dash over to the Raptors. Raptors landing auto attacks after auto. It's a 3 for 3.
Stay alive.
I am proving wrong. As the Turtle Shield Bear Stance monster survives again.
Yeah, he does manage to stay alive. Let's see the fight. So Unicorns of Love saying we need to try and create some picks when Huni cannot get the right engage onto us. He drops really low in the start. Notice how Febiven on the top of your screen is coming in while Steelback's down on the bottom. So they're onto the backline of Unicorns very, very early. Bardax goes down. Power of Evil will follow. And it's just about doing as much damage as possible before and see if your 2 tanks can then clean up. Nice little pick for blizzasc2, and then Febiven jumping into melee range of an Aurelia and an Udyr. That's going to cost you your life, and ends up being the 3 for 3. And we can really see how Unicorns as well are trying to itemize for like creating these quick picks and just not getting the big explosive 5-on-5 with the Huni TP, and they're going to get for another one.
Yellowstar, the unleashed Power of Evil. It's the burst damage down, and Unicorn find a pick. What can they do with it? They want Steelback. He does not have flash available. Starts to channel a color. He's trying to look for Hillsang. The Death Sentence doesn't connect. It doesn't matter. These Unicorns of Love have found 2. They've got minions backing up behind them, and the Unicorns now are the inner turret. They may be able to get this one. Huni's in the top lane, pushing. Unicorns of Love refuse to give up.
That's what you gotta admire. The crowd as well, cheering for the Unicorns of Love. They're gonna try and go for more. 5 seconds on Yellowstar. Top lane, Huni's recalling now. This tower should go down unless Febiven and Huni jumps in.
Well, we do see the home guards from Huni. Unicorns of Love.
He's gonna maybe try and TP.
There's blue pings onto Baron. Where do Fnatic want to go? Vision this game has been so much more effective for Fnatic. Every time you look at the minimap, it is just blue dots.
And look at the
all
unicorns.
over.
They're looking towards the dragon instead to try and stop the 5 dragons. Fnatic, they know this is going to happen. There's a chance for it. They will even see the unicorns of love on it. 0 wards on this Baron. Do they smell it, and can they get there in time? 2 guys are stuck on the dragon for the unicorns of love.
Well, the dragon will delay that 5 dragon counter. There's the
TP.
teleport coming out from Blizzasc2. Baron was hitting low. They have managed to force them away. Blizzasc2, will the barrel be used? Not even needed. Righteous glory. But I think so important. Baron stop and dragon secured. Unicorns, 2 small victories in a game where they are scrapping for any opportunity possible.
But they keep looking for them. And even though they had a 0-4 top laner, they got towers in the early game. If they stop this dragon, or this Baron, sorry, it was successful for them. Here's a TP from Huni. It's gonna be tough. And Power of Evil is gonna die.
Oh, Power of Evil is obliterated. As Huni and Featherbin stack up for 2 more kills. Banshee's Bell is popped. Kickers could flash in for a steal. I don't think they'll let him go. Bardax is going to get soloed up by Huni. Onslaught the Shadows to run him down. Devastating charge to keep close. And the Rampage secures a kill. Steelback actually flashed forward for that one. And Fnatic secure the first Baron of Game 3. With death timers still ticking away, they're hammering away on the inhibitor turrets.
We'll be able to get this one down as well for them. Don't really care about losing that dragon at this point for Fnatic. Base is now open for the Unicorns of Love. It's looking tricky. So despite all the effort for them, the builds that have come in here, I love the cooldown reduction from Thresh. We talk about that one after. First, well, I mean, there's been so many kills. You can see how Blizzasc2 is dead for now 20 seconds. And with Huni TP, Power of Evil staying around with no flash, there's not a whole lot he can do. He did steal a Baron with a Shockwave before. Not gonna happen this time. So like the build from Hylissang, he's aiming for 30% cooldown reduction. So you got the cooldown reduction boots, you got Face of the Mountain, that's 10% and 5% for masteries. And basically what you have is now your death sentence, the Q. Every time you connect it, it goes down with another 3 seconds. So the overall cooldown is 8.4. If you land it, it goes down to 5.4 seconds. So you can keep spamming out hooks and try and pull someone in that Power of Evil can then one-shot. And that's one of the ways Unicorns have tried to get back in the game, by getting as many options of connecting CC to create picks. And while they've gotten quite a lot, and they've done a great job at least staying somewhat relevant, Fnatic has still been in the lead ever since the first gank on Blizzasc2 in the top lane.
Definitely the case.
Now we're gonna get a base race.
Does look to be. Yellowstar actually cancelled that recall until a moment ago. Now Featherbin's peeling away. Steelback is left alone to go for the bottom lane inhibitor. The Super's pouring through the middle lane. Keep that in mind. The rest of Fnatic now defending in the top lane. Steelback is going to go onto that inhibitor. Huni, he gets caught by that death sentence. Huni onslaughts away. He manages to stay alive, but look at Bardax. Featherbin is just melting his HP. Bardax forced to use some of the heal to stay alive, and Reynova's looking for the kill credit. We do see Yellowstar going in. Auto attack, lands the anchor, and it's the Culling that picks up the kill. We did see Steelback backing away and joining this fight, of course, as Blizzasc2 now is going to get caught up by the Ardent Blaze. Reynova looking for more. They find themselves 3 kills. Huni
Super minions in the base.
even managed to survive. Minions on the bottom tower. There's no teleport for Huni, but look at the rest of the carries. They're pouring through the middle lane. Reynova's going to delay Hylissang, and you know what? Doesn't even matter. Blizzasc2's going to be left alone. Hylissang should be shut down, and the rest of Fnatic, they're setting their sights on the Nexus.
We'll get a kill on Hylissang as well. Can Chachi defend on his own? Huni was taking the tower here.
Everybody's alive now, Deficio. Wow, 5 seconds, I should say.
Yeah, Fnatic at least got the inhibitor in the bottom lane. And then back away, and once again, try and play a little bit safe.
The burst damage from Featherbin onto Bardags at the start of that fight, and the fact that Huni got caught by one of those death sentences you touched on, Deficio. It's just too little at the moment. Unicorns are unable to make those death sentences really count. And it's Fnatic that are in absolute control.
Should be looking to close this one out, but there's a lot of questions for Fnatic during this game here. I mean, with the start they got, and how Unicorn still managed to stay relevant, was honestly amazing from the Unicorns. And some misplays from Fnatic. I'm sure they're going to talk about them between the games here and be ready for game 4. What we have seen, though, from Fnatic is whenever they play these early comms.
They have got Febiven. The onslaught doesn't actually connect with anybody. Febiven does stay alive. It's the reactive play from Fnatic, but what did it cost? We saw Irelia, Siva burn their ulti, steal back Febiven, Rainover, and Huni. So team fight advantage in favor of UOL in abilities, but item and gold in favor of Fnatic, and of course, supers in 2 lanes. I believe the Baron buff has in fact worn off. We do see Vizachachi's course. Wow, only 2 of them. Chachi is just, I mean, he's gone Stinger.
Yeah, it's not been his game.
It was taken away from him. I think
it was. He was camped very, very hard by Fnatic, who predicted the movement from Kikis, the level 2 gank and everything, and then simply just turned it around against Chachi. They're really shown whenever they have a comp that can make plays early and mid game, they can really snowball against the Unicorns of Love.
A lot of praise to Rainover. He read Kikis so well. Something Kikis has not adapted his Udyr strategy. Fnatic onto the last remaining inhibitor turret. It is now down. Vardax has rejoined his team, and with the support of Vardax, Fnatic opt to play safe and in fact back away. Dragon is spawning in 2 seconds. That might be the objective.
They're gonna have Huni TP in. I think it's just him recalling on his own. There are some wards in the base. He's on his way now.
Well, there's the rest of Fnatic. They're now moving back into the base. Huni's coming from behind. You did see that TP in defensive onslaught of shadows, in fact, as he throws it backwards. Power of Evil up in the top lane is getting culled away by Steelback. We did see Febiven use the Hourglass to stay alive. Steelback flashes forward. He's got the triple. Now looking for more. In his sight, he's going to make it back onto the lasers. Huni is going to get dropped down. Steelback tries to chase further, not going to be able to secure it. Fnatic turn their attention to the Nexus turrets. This will be the game. And Fnatic put themselves 2-1 up. Championship point in the spring split. Not over just yet as a few more minions poured through. Steelback gets another kill. It will not be, as it is in fact Rainover that secures the ace. Fnatic 2-1 in the spring split championship finals.
What a start to the game for them. Getting Huni so fit. This was the champion Unicorns of Love allowed Fnatic to get by banning Rek'Sai. I think Rainover very clearly showed it's not the champion, it's the player.
Yep.
In terms of the early game control he does offer, the Gragas was so spot on for him all game long. Unicorns of Love, full credit to them for getting back in this game or trying to get back. They traded towers for kills. They got 4 towers down when Fnatic only had 2 because Fnatic were chasing around for kills. They punished them if they were overextending. So they really tried to do everything they could after such a bad start. But Fnatic in the end was still so far ahead. And then once we got these big team fights out in the open, they were way, way stronger and could always dive onto power.
And you have to talk about that Udyr again. You know, Unicorns are a team that innovate. They do new things. They change up. The moment Udyr was locked in, you instantly went Flash, Base Lab, level 2, red buff gank. Kikis did it. He was read like a book, and Rainover just punished over and over and over.
Yeah.
They cannot afford
Udyr is
to
too weak early game to fight.
You cannot afford to give up Hecarim and then just do the same strat you've done every single time and allow yourself to be countered. So, Unicorns of Love learn a tough lesson. They are now 1 game away from placing 2nd in the spring split. To break down that 3rd game, we're going to hand it over to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much. Well, time will tell if the lesson will indeed be learned or if they will make the same mistakes. I'd like to throw you guys something that I heard that casters talk about, being Fnatic. They had a huge lead and still Unicorns of Love managed to scrape back. They're going to have to think about that. How much of that do you think is true, knowing that Fnatic had such a big lead they were able to build up in the beginning? Won't that be enough to give them enough confidence going into the last game?
It should give them enough confidence. Like, Unicorns of Love had a plan. They left Hecarim open, and when you leave Hecarim against Huni open, you know he's going to pick Hecarim. So they wanted that Irelia against Hecarim in the top lane, and their plan was to go that same cheese, what they always do with the Udyr. Do red buff first, gank the lane on the red buff side, which is the top lane in that situation. But Fnatic actually watched the replay, so they saw that coming, and they counterplayed it perfectly. They were there, they counterplayed it, and Gragas was able to take over the top lane like no one else could. The 4th kill, a solo kill. At that point, Irelia was pretty much out of the game.
Yeah, that Udyr level 2 cheese, you can't keep using it. Cheese has an expiration date. Like, I was actually expecting them to use the Udyr flash in mid lane because you don't actually have to secure the kill. What you can do is just get the Ahri to blow her flash, and that gives Power of Evil an easier lane for him to compete with. Because Power of Evil, like we said before at the beginning of the show, he is the focal point of their team. When he's having a good game, they tend to win. When he's having a bad game, they tend to lose. So if you get that Summoner trade-off, the jungler for the enemy mid lane, it's going to be an easier game for Power of Evil and an easier game for your team to win.
Exactly, but that's the risk you're trying to take if you play carry top laners. The current meta allows carry top laners. That it allows the Vladimir, it allows the Hecarim, it allows the Irelia. If you take that risk to take a carry top laner on such a vulnerable lane like the top lane, you have to just see the ganks coming, and you have to see the Fnatic if a smart enough team to see it coming.
Yeah, but Vizicsacsi didn't, and it was just, he could do nothing on that Irelia. Carry top laner, we'll talk about the carry mid laners. Febiven on Ahri, fantastic. Why do you think Power of Evil went to his beloved precious Syndra when we have evaluated that it is his style to now go for those late game scaling champions, and he's making it work? The Varus works, the Kog'Maw works, the Orianna even works. So why do you think it is that they made this decision in this case?
It's just a comfort champion for him. Even though Syndra may not be meta for most of the teams that play in this league, it's a champion that he plays at a well enough level that works for them. And plus, Unicorns 11, when we were doing research on them in the quarterfinals, they had 3 win conditions, and one of those win conditions was Power of Evil setting up pickoffs for his team. And the Syndra combo that applies the stun to the enemies is another one of those moves that can apply the stuns to allow the team to follow up, allow them to pressure the map. So even though it may not be meta right now, it's still a comfort pick for him, and I think it's a fine pick.
Absolutely, the composition itself made sense, and the Syndra pick into it made sense as well. The long range stun, you can take out choke points with your CC. It makes sense, and one thing that you also have to keep in mind, if you put Power of Evil on Syndra, it becomes meta. Like, that guy is so good on the champion, he can pick it whatever they do. Riot can't nerf it enough for Power of Evil to not pick up the... to not let Power of Evil be good on that champion. So it made sense to me, they last picked it, it was perfectly fine, but the snowball from top lane was just too much for them.
Don't mention nerf and there's Aurelia in the game, Dentist. How dare you? Looking ahead now, so do Unicorns of Love by all reasons of logic.